Hey guys, Anthony Melchiori here, and today we will be talking about the top 3 ways to save money and budget more efficiently. Now, real quick, this isn't going to be one of those videos where I tell you what to spend money on and what not to spend money on. These are going to be 3 effective, efficient ways on how to budget and save money, which anyone should and could be doing right now. So we all know there's plenty of reasons on why people budget or save money. Whether it's to go somewhere new like a vacation, get the latest item they crave, maybe a new Samsung phone, a new iPhone, a new laptop, some new sneakers, or my personal favorite to get some new money streams and invest in something. There's many different reasons why budgeting and saving money can and will help you in the long run. This won't be easy though. This isn't something you could just say, hey, you know what, tomorrow I'm going to start saving money and it's going to magically happen. It's going to take time, it's going to take effort, and it's going to take some sacrifice. If you've ever tried like a fad diet where, hey, I'm going to cut out all carbs, or hey, I won't touch sugar ever again, you know how hard something like that is. I'm sure anyone could stick to it for a couple of days, but as soon as that week hits, you're already craving those carbs, or you already want ice cream, or whatever the case is, and the whole diet goes out the window. This isn't what we're going to be practicing today. We're going to be incorporating things that are going to take time, effort, but they'll stick with you and they will change your lifestyle and help you out for the better. These will get you out of the rat race of living paycheck to paycheck. So before I start rambling, let's get straight to number 1. So the number 1 rule of saving money and budgeting is having an income and expense report. This is the most important thing you could do. Without knowing these 2 numbers, you will fail to save money, you'll fail to budget, you will fail at this. So whether you're doing this on a piece of paper, an Excel spreadsheet, on your phone, you're going to want to break this into first 2 categories. You're going to have your income, obviously, and your expenses. Then you're going to break those into more categories. So for income, you're going to have your primary income, basically your job. You're going to add multiple other levels to that, such as like any investments you're making, any small income streams, if you have passive income, if you get an allowance, if however you make money on a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly basis, as long as it's consistent that you can track it, you're going to add that to the income. And you're going to do the same to the expense report. So that's, first you're going to get your expenses of everything you've done, and then you're going to break those into categories. So if you go out to eat a lot, like fast food or to restaurants, you're going to break that down, but that's still going to be separate from like food you buy for your home. So, because they're 2 different things. Fast food and going out to eat isn't a necessity. Having food in your house to feed yourself, that is a necessity. So, you're going to break that down. You're going to add your bills, any things you spend on entertainment, car payments. Well, that's technically a bill, but just break that down into as deep of a category as you can. So that way you know the exact places where you're spending money and the exact places where the money's coming in. If the majority of your spending comes from credit cards, you could also track from their websites. I know a lot of them will break it into categories just like what you need. So you could just go to like American Express or your Visa card or whatever card or credit card you have. They'll have it broken down already. And if you don't use credit cards at the moment, I highly suggest it. I always suggest using credit cards. That's one of the best things you could do. You'll build up your credit and they'll monitor your spending for you. So you could just, like I said, just break it down, steal it, download it, write it down. Just go to their website and copy everything. That way you're not going through hundreds of receipts or writing things down every time you buy like a bottle of water or something. I always suggest you do the first report for your income and expenses for at least 3 months. This will really help you see a broad spectrum, of what you're spending. So if you're not going to be able to tell what you really spend on everything if you're only looking at a small section of 2 weeks. When I help my clients out, I actually do up to 6 months, but that I get paid for that. So if you want to just do it really quickly at home and, just like I said, take it from your credit card companies, try to do as big of a time slide as possible. 3 months is always my suggestion, but if you could only do 1 month, that's fine, set it up. Just make sure you get this report and make sure it's as detailed as possible. And then make sure it's in a good place where you could always look back at it, or you can add to it or subtract from it. You don't want to write it on a piece of paper, look over everything, and crumble it up or lose it, because you're going to have to go through all of this all over again. So after you do this, obviously the first thing you're going to see is your income and your expense amounts. If your income is higher than your expenses, you're making money. Good on you. If your expenses is higher than your income, you're losing money. Very basic, but if you're losing money, you're going to be homeless one day. That simple. You need more income than expenses. This will also show you where you're spending excessively. So if you see you have a super high amount spent in the entertainment section, such as like movies, arcade, whatever else you find entertaining, you could cut that back. Or if you notice that you eat out far too often and it's like twice as much as what you're spending in other categories, start bringing food from home. You could figure out ways to budget just from this list, and this is just the go-to list. You should always know these numbers, and this is one of the most important things to always have. Not even if you're just budgeting or trying to save money. This is just basic financial education. So now that you know your expenses and hopefully have a positive income, what are you going to do with this extra money? You're going to pay yourself, bro. I want everyone watching to be able to pay themselves at the minimum 10%. I tell my clients 30%. We don't stop until we get 30%. Since everyone's just starting this out at home, we're going to go with 10%. This paying yourself first is going to get you that FU money. So when you don't want to do something, or you want to leave your job, or you want to just up and move, or whatever you want to do, no one can tell you no. You can say F you, bro. F you, boss. This is what's going to build your savings account as well. Everyone should always have an emergency savings, so this is going to help that, as well as getting out of that rat race and living paycheck to paycheck. Now, what happens if you're like, oh, but Aunt, I can't afford that. I can't pay myself 10%. I'm living paycheck to paycheck right now. Or 30%. What are you, insane? That's what we have the expense list for. If you can't pay yourself a minimum of 10%, first of all, you're going to be broke forever. Unless something luckily or special happens to you, you're going to stay broke. But if you can't pay yourself the minimum 10%, we're going to go straight to that expense list and start cutting things off you don't need. Maybe you have to stop seeing movies now. Maybe you have to stop drinking Starbucks, But we're going to cut something. But Aunt, my expenses are already so low. I can't cut anything else. I'm still living paycheck to paycheck. So then you go to the other side, your income. Maybe it's time for you to get a new job. Maybe it's time for you to find a new source of income, a new money stream. There's always something you could do, but you need to be paying yourself this money. You're the most important person here. Why are you going to pay everyone else around you, but not pay yourself a minimum of 10%? And today, with how banks work and all the apps that are on your phone, you don't even have to go to the bank and withdraw it, or have your boss give you a separate check, or you could have that all automatically set. So you don't even need to worry about that anymore. So that's not an excuse either of why you shouldn't do it. Now, most importantly, this is not rainy day money. This isn't vacation fund money. This isn't new car money. This isn't I want to go buy that new video game money. This isn't none of that. This is strictly investing money. This is strictly to invest in a new income stream, whether it be stocks or peer-to-peer lending or investing in yourself. If it's you taking an online course to better yourself, better your education, and figure out a new way to make money or have a new income stream come in, or it's just like I said, buying a blue chip stock where they pay you a solid dividends for the rest of your life. That's what you're using this money for. That's what's going to help you get out of this rat race. You buying that new video game that's going to depreciate tomorrow, it's not worth it. If you want something new, use your entertainment money. But the money you pay yourself goes nowhere but investments. So lastly, this is going to be the toughest one to do. This is not easy. This was when I was talking about that fad diet where you just quit. This is the one where most people are going to have that issue with. But this is the lifestyle change. This is where you're going to start viewing money differently. Money will bring you your freedom. If you want one day to live on a beach and wake up every morning and walk in the sand, you could do that. If you want one day to have a private jet, you can do that. If you want one day just not to have to worry about a bill every other day or every other week, you can do that. But money's going to get you there. Envision what your goal is, what you want out of life. Like I said, if it's every day waking up on the beach and walking in the sand to the sunset, write that on your goal board. Write that everywhere. Envision that. And if that means, you know what, maybe not drinking Starbucks every day, or maybe not spending half your paycheck at the bar every weekend, that's what it's going to take. And that's why you need to start thinking differently. A lot of people spend their money for the moment. They want that moment rush where they feel so good after they buy something new or they do something. Now, I'm not saying to become miserable and not enjoy life and sit in your house like a hermit. That's not it at all. You could still spend money. You have to spend money. You have to spend money to live. But think about what's worth it and what isn't worth it. You know what? If all your friends are in town and you want to have a great night, that's fine. Do it. That's a great experience. But if you want to just spend money every weekend on crap you don't need, it's not worth it. Every day trying to envision what that money could do for you. And as you see it build up and up in your bank account or in your savings or in your investing, you'll see how powerful it is. You don't see it right now because you don't have that. But once you start getting that compound interest and you start getting separate money streams, and you're like, wait, I just made $600 today and I didn't do anything, or I just made $600 last weekend, I didn't do anything. That's an amazing feeling, and it'll open up your eyes. I'm telling everyone, if you've never had that feeling, the first time I saw I made $200 in a month without doing anything, I thought it was amazing. Now it's like I laugh at that, but that was better than Christmas morning. I was like, I just made $200 and I didn't do it. I didn't do nothing, you know? Like, of course I was working at the time and making other money from other different income sources, but $200, that was just going to keep working for me. It was an amazing feeling. And that's what you guys need to experience to change that lifestyle and change the way of how you think about money and how important it is. So I hope you enjoyed the top 3 ways on how to save money and budget, and you're able to take away something from this. If you do have any questions about it, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll try and answer them as soon as possible. I really appreciate everyone watching these videos. It means a lot to me. I'm really happy I could spread my knowledge to as many people as possible. Make sure to share to anyone you think needs this. And hit that like button if you learned something, and see you guys soon. Peace.